Hey everybody, hope all is well with you and that things are cool in your world. First I want to thank you guys for tuning in and checking out the content and the channel. I really appreciate it. It's great to be able to tell these stories and I'm amazed that people want to hear them, so I'll keep putting them on if you guys want to keep listening to them. If you can give me a subscribe and a like and comment on this stuff, I really appreciate it. Helps the channel grow and enables me to keep this thing going, tell more stories, etc. So anyways, so yeah, thanks again. I was thinking about something this morning and I figured I'd share this with you guys. As I've mentioned in the other videos, GG and I, for the most part, we got along pretty well. We never had any big scrapes, any big rows or arguments or any of that stuff. However, there was times where the kumbaya crap went out the window, and the rubber met the road. So this was one of those times, and I'm really actually surprised after this all happened. It was fairly intense, and I'm surprised Carnival of Excess actually got made after this, and that GG and I remained friendly and in a good working relationship. One night, it wasn't too late, and we weren't hammered like we were. Some of those nights we were just gone. This night we were drinking, but we weren't, blotto or any of that stuff. We were just sitting around shooting the breeze, and Gigi could be pretty. He was a complex guy, so you just never knew what could happen. Sometimes he was really nice, and then just like that, boom, he could turn into a total asshole. That's how Gigi was, and everybody that knew him understood that, and that's kind of the parameters you worked within. But like I said, we were always pretty okay with each other. And I should also mention, Gigi was always he got along with the Razor just fine. They never had any issues. That's why he let her sing on 5 songs. They got along well together. He liked her, and she liked him. It was all good. Anyways, one night we were kind of hanging out, having some drinks, talking about the project, Carnival of Excess. The music for this had already been recorded. The vocals hadn't been. And this was probably day 5 or whatever, midway point, close to it, of his stay. He had gone off. You had seen the photo shoots with the strippers and the girl in the polka dot dress. Her name's Angel. I'm still in touch with her. Anyways, Gigi had gone off after that photo shoot. He had gone off with her and went and hung out with some of her friends for a while. And I was a little nervous that, oh man, is Gigi going to show back up here or whatever, but he did. And so anyways, just our little discussion here was a night or two after that, and we're talking about the project, and then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, and I'm going to have like 7 or 8 of these strippers in the studio with me when I lay down the vocals. And I said, Gigi, I don't think that's going to be, that's not going to be possible. We're not going to be able to have that happen. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I said, well, I mean, the circumstances of which we were, the studio that we were using, we were doing this very covert, very underground, without any fanfare. And it wasn't a situation where we could have 7 or 8 strippers just running around this studio. It just wasn't going to be possible, and, not to mention everybody would have been drinking and all the rest of it. So I just was like, no, we can't, that's not going to happen. And Gigi, he got salty. he said, well, yeah, it is going to happen. And I said, Gigi, we can't do this. And I explained everything. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. We're going to, I'm having these strippers there, and that's that. And if you don't like it, tough shit. You do the record. You do the vocals. I'm not doing them. If I can't have these girls in there, I am not doing these vocals. And, we're going back and forth. And, and again, like I said, he kept saying, you record the vocals. You do it. You're such a hot shot, you do it. And I'm like, Gigi, it's not that, man. I just, you got to understand the circumstances here that we're dealing with. And he wasn't having any of it, man. He was standing his ground firmly, and it was, the tenor of the conversation was getting a little heated. So we're kind of going back and forth, and, our voices are being raised to each other. And at this point, like I said, I was thinking this could, derail everything. This could be the thing that makes this album not happen. So we're going back and forth and back and forth. And as you can imagine, the whole thing was unpleasant. I mean, arguing with GG Allin about this kind of thing, it just in general was unpleasant. It's not fun. And in addition, everything was on the line at this point. So we're doing our thing. Then all of a sudden, our house, the way it was set up, it was this kind of an old Florida house, no insulation, it was all wood, so sound traveled through pretty effectively. And the house was split kind of down in the middle, and on one side would be the living room, where we were hanging out, and then this little dining area, and then the kitchen, and then out to the pool, the deck and the pool area. And the other side, there was the first bedroom was ours, then there was a bathroom, and then 2 back bedrooms. But overall, the house was a square. And I bring this up only because Razor had been overhearing our heated argument. And, all of a sudden, she was in the other side of the house. All of a sudden, the door opens, because there was a door that, that was the only back and forth in between the houses. This one door. So the door flies open, and Razor just lets loose. I mean, just let loose on Gigi. Screaming at him, how can you be so inconsiderate? Don't you know how much money's been spent so far in this thing? And don't you know what all the expense and the trouble that everybody's gone through to get this done for you? And you want to be so selfish that you're going to compromise everything for a couple of strippers not being in the studio? What's your freaking problem, I can't believe you're going to do this. Everything we've done so far, you're going to throw it out because of some strippers? That's just bullshit. Just going off on him, and I was stunned. I was sitting there in stunned silence, and then, she slams the door, goes back into the other part of the house, and it's just me and Gigi, and we're sitting there, and there was this huge, big, tension-filled silence, huge pregnant pause, no words were said, just me and Gigi kind of sitting there, and I'm thinking, oh man, my mind's going like a freight train heading for a steel wall. I'm like, this is going to end everything. Project's over, our friendship is over, our working relationship is over, it's done. He's going to get his shit, and he's going to the Greyhound station right now. In my head, that's what I was thinking. I just knew. I mean, it was like, wow. A female just dressed GG Allin down, wow. Anyways, we're sitting there, minute or 2 passes, and he's not saying anything, but I could tell he is just so pissed off. I knew Gigi well enough. I could tell his temperament. He was so aggravated and annoyed. And we're just sitting there, and he looks at me, and he's like, I don't need some bitch telling me what to do on my albums and how I'm recording my albums. And I said, okay, cool. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, cool. He's not going to smash the place up and just leave. I have a little wiggle room to put on my best negotiating hat and solve this problem. So I did, and I started talking to him, and I said, look, Gigi, we just don't want to compromise these recordings. You know they're special. I know they're special. Razor knows they're special. We all do. We all know what this is, man. Don't throw this away for a couple stupid strippers. Give me a break, you know. And so we got to, you know, talking a little more, and we ended up with a compromise. He couldn't take 7 or 8 of them down there, but it was, Angel ended up being with us at the studio that night when he did the vocals. So I got him off the ledge, and made that compromise from 7 or 8 strippers to just one, and that took some doing. It took a while to get him calmed down. He was really annoyed, very cranky, and like I said, at that point I didn't think the album was going to get done. I fully expected GG to just grab his stuff and leave and go to the Greyhound station. And, it was nighttime. That didn't bother. It didn't matter for Gigi. Gigi was a resourceful guy. He could have found his way around. So that was the story. We all kind of worked it out. I got Gigi to calm down a little bit. Him and Razor, it was just a little dust up. It wasn't any big deal. At the end, Gigi knew we were right. He just had he couldn't admit it. He was Gigi. So, we all had a big group hug and everything was fine. And, the week proceeded. Gigi did the vocals. Razor did her backing vocals on the album. And, it was all good. But boy, that was serious tension. And I honestly, like I said, I thought everything was going to be in jeopardy and project was going to be no more, and the world would never see Carnival of Excess, which at that time we hadn't named it Carnival of Excess yet. Anyways, thought of that story, wanted to share it with you guys, so I did. There you go. I hope all is well with you, and you guys all have a great day and a great evening. Thanks again for tuning in, and if you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing and check the other GG stories out that are on the channel. Have a great day.